introduce themselves right now so that you can be aware of exactly who you're listening to. And as we say here on Unplugged In, good yawning.
Good yawning, good yawning.
And
Good yawning.
yes, we have Mrs. Rhonda Wright. We have Dr. Akua Gray, and we have, I didn't get your name, brother.
Dr. Chenu.
Dr.
Chenu.
Chenu, okay.
Chenu.
You can grab that microphone right there, Dr. Chenu. He's being quiet. He's filming everything. But Rhonda, how art thou?
Wonderful, wonderful.
The Seedlings Place strikes again.
Strikes again. Always a pleasure to be here with you, my brother.
Yeah, man, and I'm happy you had the you have the opportunity to bring some special people to the island to do some special things. And let's jump right into it. Dr. Akua Gray, how you doing?
Peace, all is well. Thank you.
She got such smooth, silky voice.
That's
You got a radio voice. You used to work in radio?
Yes.
See? I can hear it. How you doing today?
Oh, all is well.
Good.
I'm very happy to be back here in the Bahamas. Had a wonderful time last time I was here for the Green Festival, and it is just always a pleasure.
Yes. And Dr. Chenu?
Chenu.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm excellent. Thank you, brother.
Good. Rhonda, just briefly let us know exactly, what Seedlings Place is doing, because y'all always doing something. You know what I mean? So where is Seedlings Place at in its agenda right now?
Yeah, we have been pretty busy, and actually the rest of the year, believe it or not, will be even more busy. We have quite a few things lined up. In the immediate, starting today actually, and this is why Dr. Akua and Chenu are here, we are hosting a Life of Peace Institute, which is the name of their nonprofit organization out of Texas.
Okay.
And we're hosting them to lead the vegan foods chef certification course. It's a course that's normally offered in the U.S., something I actually personally wanted to do last year. Couldn't afford to go, so I'm like, okay, they coming here.
Smart.
Yes, and of course by doing that we're able to offer it to others locally as well.
Yeah.
And so it's a 5-day course, 21 hours, so we're going to be meeting tonight through to Friday, and we're ending on Sunday. We have an exam and all. So,
wow, you gotta pass this thing to be certified, right?
It's an in-depth course that essentially at the end of it allows persons to, they can actually teach with the knowledge that they've received. It also allows them...
certified now.
Exactly.
Okay.
It also allows them, if they wish to enhance or begin their own business, if they're interested in getting into the vegan foods kind of business, whether it's catering or a restaurant, they would have the basic information to do that. So it's those who are going to be taking it are definitely going to be getting a wealth of knowledge, hands-on as well as theory. So we're looking forward to it.
Indeed. So Dr. Akua Gray, you've been doing this for how long now?
Oh, vegan, vegetarian foods. It's been over, let's just call it 20 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And what made you, I guess, get on this path, or what made you say that this was right for you?
Well, I wanted a healthy lifestyle. I grew up with a mother who was ill. And so just seeing the things that she struggled with as far as kidney disease and heart disease, I knew that there had to be a better way of living. So that was one of the major things that helped me to decide to eat healthier and seek a healthy way of eating and partaking food. And it's been a very long journey. Because, of course, growing up on the typical African-American diet of, soul food and fast food. Well, actually, when I was growing up, fast foods were just coming into being. I remember when the first McDonald's opened up in our community, which that was maybe like 30 years ago, and that McDonald's is still there.
That's something, hey?
In the community.
And out.
Exactly. So then after McDonald's, then a lot of other fast food places started popping up, and then just seeing the illness that comes from the poor eating habits of people in our community, and things that I've learned through naturopathy that can be prevented.
Yeah.
So it's been a long journey, and the course of it is, of course, first giving up certain types of meats and things that are not good for you, and then moving along to alternatives in protein products, because the body does need protein. However, the myth is you can't get protein except from meat, but that's not true. You can get it from your nuts, your beans, your legumes,
right,
your grains, and even lots and lots of proteins come from our dark green vegetables.
Okay.
So, just on that journey from giving up meats, giving up poultry, giving up fish,
Yeah.
it's a process.
Right.
And, I always tell people, be gentle with yourself, because when you're making that transition to better living, what you've been doing is what you've been doing all of your life. So the transition has to be gentle and consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I have an article here that came out in one of the dailies yesterday, and they talking about some alarming findings as it concerns breast cancer. It says, and I quote, "We found out that in the Bahamas, 23% of all the women with breast cancer have alterations in this particular gene called the BRCA1, BRCA1 gene, that's causing them to develop the breast cancer." Now, this study really pinpoints this gene and talks about, I guess, how they've been focusing on this particular gene. But I guess my question, and I'm going to try to get these guys on the show, but when it comes to stuff like breast cancer, any kind of cancer, are we just looking at a gene becoming radical and racing off and doing its own thing, or is it being exposed to some other things that we're putting in our body with respect to causing these alterations genetically? What are your sayings
of
on
course,
this?
yes, the exposure factor is, I would say, probably 75% of
Right.
it. Okay. It has been noted that, of course, people do have genetic inheritances that can make them prone to disease. Okay. However, adopting certain healthy aspects in your lifestyle can prevent you from having certain diseases. So let's take, for instance, like heart disease and diabetes. Just because your grandfather, father, had heart disease doesn't mean that you have to, if you decide that you want to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So in terms of cancer, if you know anything about the anatomy of the breast, they're filled with lymph nodes, okay, which are part of the lymphatic system, which is a part of our immune system. And one thing that some women who show up with lumps in their breast, it may just be clogged ducts. Okay, and then of course we're dealing with a medical industry. I hope I'm not stepping on any toes here.
Go right on ahead.
Okay, we're dealing with a medical system that thrives on surgery. Okay, so whenever there is a lump or something like that, the first thing that the physicians do, or the allopathic physicians do, would of course to cut out a piece to see what's going on with it. Exactly, the biopsy. So, when we think in terms of breast cancer, that can be, because so many women develop it, there are so many different factors that are involved with that. One, of course, can be a buildup of toxic material that hasn't been processed properly by the body and released from the body through the cleansing systems that we have. That could be a factor. The other factor could be a high level of toxicity that is clogging up the lymphatic system and causing the lumps to appear. One can also be as simple as not even drinking enough water. Okay? And let's say, for instance, if the lymphatic system is clogged up, that's causing the particular lumps in the breast, well, you probably won't get those details from the allopathic physician, but if you went to a naturopath or a naturopathic doctor, they would be able to determine if that is the case.